Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you haven't seen me before then welcome to my channel. Today's video is basically going to be me giving you guys my advice and tips and kind of like opinion on moving out for the first time, because it can be a very big thing, it can be a very good thing or a bad thing. So I just want to sort of like make this video and hope that a few of you guys see this and it helps you if you are going to be moving out. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to know how I feel about moved out for the first time, and if you want to hear my tips and advice, then please keep watching. Guys, my first thing that I'm going to be talking about, so these bullet points are not tips, they are topics I'm going to be talking about. So the first one is staying at home as long as possible. Okay, so everyone has their different situation. This could be you hate home and you want to move out as soon as possible. You could be going to uni, you could be thinking, I think I want to move out now but I'm not too sure. So yeah, everyone has their different situations, so take of this what you will of your situation. So my advice on this is, if you are happy living at home, try and stay at home as long as possible, because I promise you when you move out you will realise how you took it for granted. For example, if you don't pay rent there, it will come to a big shock to you when you do have to start paying rent in your new place. Obviously everyone's different, but if you have like your washing done for you, if you don't have to do chores, things like that, basically it will change dramatically when you move out. So just try and stay at home as long as possible. Moving out is difficult, it's amazing, it's part of growing up, but yeah, it is difficult. So personally, I moved out when I was 19, so I tried to stay at home as long as possible, and then I realised that because I had my boyfriend that I wanted to move out with, that the time for me had come to move out, so I tried to stay living at home as long as possible basically. The next topic is budgeting for bills. Now this is very important, and you might hear this all the time and you might think, oh, I don't need to budget for them, like I'll just pay my bills, I'll know how to do my bills, blah blah blah. Trust me, budget for your bills, because you need to be thinking like in your head, or just write down a list or whatever. You need to be knowing what is going to be coming out of your account, or what you need to be paying, what date that it is due to be paid, and how much all of your bills come to basically. So personally for me, what I do is I have a list on just my little whiteboard of every single bill that I have each month, what date it comes out of and how much it is. So I know how much I need to have in my account overall for what date and when. Basically what I do is on the 1st of every month I put in a lump sum of money, and then I just let my bills come out of that money. What I would really suggest is to have 2 different bank accounts with different money in. So personally I have my main bank account for all my bills, and I put the lump sum of money in there and all of my bills come out, and then I have a separate account which is called my savings account, which is no extra price. You can open a savings account as and when you want to, and in my savings account I don't actually keep savings, I keep all the money that I am allowed to spend. For example, if I want to go out to the cinema one night, if I know that I can go out for a meal. So basically what I would suggest for you guys is to keep your enjoyable money and your bill money separate, just so that you don't get confused, you don't accidentally spend that money and then you think like, oh my god, I've got a bill coming out and I don't have enough money. So yeah, that is what I would do personally. Also, bills are quite a, to me, scary thing, because obviously if you don't have the money to pay, you're going to get in trouble. Bills are money that obviously you don't really enjoy spending your money on, but you have to. So for me, what I try to do is really not to get stressed out. For example, if I get a bill through and I don't have enough money to pay for it and it's an unexpected bill, like through the post or something, then I'll just really try not to stress about it. I will think about it logically, think of what I can do, how I can get the money, when I can get the money for, and literally just sort it out, because there's honestly no point in stressing about it. I know it's easier said than done, but literally just try and just chill, just relax. It's just a bill, like it's not the end of the world, so just, you know, just go with it. My other advice to you guys would be, do not spend all of your money on bills, because you will not be happy. You have to remember, you need to still do the things that make you happy, that you enjoy. For example, going out to watch a film, going out for some food, doing a hobby, paying for something, shopping, whatever. Just make sure that you do actually have some money for yourself and not just for bills, because you're not going to enjoy moving out. You're going to resent it and you're going to just think to yourself, I can't have fun anymore. Just really just try and make sure that you still have time for yourself and spend money on things that you enjoy. Obviously, again, with this bill situation, you have to ensure that you have a stable job. So before you rent somewhere, before you buy somewhere, whatever your situation is, just ensure that you have a steady income coming in, because if you don't, then things can get really tricky and just not good. So just make sure that you've got a stable job, you enjoy that job, you think you're going to be staying there for a while. Personally, I would just do that before you move out, or just if you're moving somewhere else and you know you're getting a job in that area, then that's fine. Just make sure you have a steady income coming in, because obviously you have to pay bills. So if you don't have the money, then that's where you can get in trouble. So yeah, just make sure you have a good steady job, basically. My next thing that I'm going to talk about is missing home. Now, this won't apply to everyone, because they might move out and think, oh my god, I don't miss home at all, I'm so glad I moved out, whatever. But this does apply to me, because when I first moved out, basically I moved from Bristol to Kent. If you don't know how far that is around 3 hours. So for me, from living with my family for all my life and then moving 3 hours away was quite difficult for me, because I couldn't just pop home because I wouldn't have enough petrol money to get home and back. So if you're like me in this situation, you probably will miss home and it will be a bit difficult, but I promise you, trust me when I tell you, it will get better, honestly. At first I remember genuinely crying because I missed home so much, and then now I just, like, I wouldn't want to move back home. Do you see what I mean? Like, I'm so happy with moving out and being more independent and having my own place with my boyfriend. It's just really funny how things change, because I went from feeling quite upset some days and not thinking about it other days, and I never regretted moving out at all. I just knew that it would take time to be really happy and for this place to feel like home. And now, genuinely, this place feels like home, and when I go back to my parents' house, it feels like my parents' house. It doesn't feel like my home. I promise you, things will change. If you're missing home, things will get better, and just stick with it. And if you genuinely, after a few months, you're still missing home and you hate it, then I'd suggest moving back. But I'm pretty sure it will get better, because it definitely did for me, and it actually makes things nicer because you appreciate each other more because you're not seeing each other every day, just things like that. It will definitely get better, basically. My fourth point to talk about is basically trying to save. Now, this can be very difficult when you move out. Personally, I think it's very important to make sure you just save some money. It can be, even if you save £10 a month, it's better than nothing, because things go wrong either where you're living, with your car, with everything basically. You need to be able to just have a bit of money saved up so that you know if anything goes wrong you can go into that money and you have it, because otherwise it can just be difficult. Like, something might go wrong, like your boiler might break or something, and your landlord can't pay for it, or you own the house yourself so you have to pay for it, and you don't have any money and you need the money that you have for bills. It can just be really difficult, so it's really good to save. Personally, I don't have a lot of money saved, because at the moment I'm actually trying to save for our holiday abroad, and it is really difficult when you move out. You've got a lot of bills to pay for, even like food, it just seems annoying having to spend your money on food and not be able to go shopping basically. For me personally, when I was living at home, a lump sum of my wages would go on shopping because I didn't have anything else to pay for apart from my rent at home and my car. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock to me basically, because when I moved out I realised that I couldn't just go shopping when I wanted and get what I wanted or get the new thing that I want. So yeah, it did come a bit of a shock to me, but I learned how to save that money instead of going and splurging it out, and it feels a lot better knowing that you've got money saved and that if anything goes wrong you can use that, rather than thinking if something does go wrong, oh no I don't have any money, oh because I spent it on this lipstick or whatever. So it's so much nicer knowing that you've got a little bit of money saved. So yeah, that is one of my points to you guys, is to just really just try and save a little bit. My next point I'm going to talk about is food shopping. So a lot of people are different with food shopping. Some people go once a week and they'll do a big shop. Some people go once a month and do a massive shop. Some people will go every 2 days, every day, whatever. Personally, for me, I like to do two sort of different things. Sometimes if I have a lot of money spare, then I will go and do a big shop when I can, because I know that I can use that money and I can go and buy things that we need. So I like to do that. Personally, I like to do that better. But at the moment, I've been going every 3 or 4 days, just when I can basically. When I have the money to be able to spend it on food, I will just go and get it, and I will make sure that money goes on food. I tend to just go sort of randomly. I don't like to be that type of person that has to go out every time they cook a meal, if that makes sense. So some people do it every day, so when they need to cook a meal they'll go out and buy the food. I don't really enjoy doing that because I feel like you spend more that way, and I feel like it's a bit of a waste of time basically. The last thing I'm going to be talking about is not stressing. So basically, depending on who you're moving out with, if you're moving out on your own or with a best friend, with a boyfriend, whatever, you're gonna see them a lot. So personally, I work with my boyfriend, I live with my boyfriend, I do everything with him. So personally, we get on really, really well. So we don't have any times that we stress over each other, but we do have times when we stress at work about other things. We stress at bills that we've got coming through. We stress at daily life things, and you need to make sure that you don't take this out on each other. If you're living on your own, then just try not to stress in general, because you'll make yourself kind of like ill, like you'll make yourself unhappy and then you won't be very healthy, and it's just not worth stressing basically. So these things that you get in the day-to-day life, if you are living with someone, if it's your best friend, for example, if you move out with a best friend, a uni friend, whatever, just know that you're going to see them quite a lot. So you might see a different side to them, you might see them differently to how you thought they were, and just take this in, just take it on board. Try not to stress. Please really just try not to get annoyed with the other person. Obviously if you're friends, that's going to be really bad for your friendship. So yeah, just basically just take a step back, I would say, and just try not to stress about things. Just be happy. Just think to yourself, okay, this stressful thing is happening right now, but it's not going to be forever. And how can we change it? How can I sort this situation out? Just really try and think about things just before you start stressing, because I stress quite easily, and at the moment I've just been really thinking to myself, like, there is just literally no point in stressing. Like, it's a waste of my time, it makes me feel rubbish, and I just think to myself, like, why am I bothering? Do you know what I mean? Just be happy basically. Okay guys, that is it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video will inspire a few of you and just give you some advice of how I felt. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. And yeah, I will see you in my next video.